Hey guys, welcome back to the guide videos. Today we have Keqing, and she's one of the first characters like Diona that have some kind of cat looks just because of ears that they made them. Just noticing that, nothing else. I'm not really playing with Keqing, so I didn't even look that much at her. And as you can see, I don't even have artifacts on her, unfortunately. Also didn't pay attention to the mechanics of Keqing, so if I do make some kind of mistake, yes, let me know in the comments. But we will try to do this as best as possible. So let's begin with weapons. The best weapon on her is going to be some kind of crit rate or crit damage weapon, because there's only DPS build for Keqing. She doesn't have a chance to be a support just because of her playstyle. So we have crit rate weapons and crit damage ones that are 5-star. Of course, only battle pass weapons are going to be with the crit rate. Some other options, well, this should be a great option, Alliance Roar, just because you have your damage increased by 36% if opponents are affected by Electro or even Pyro. And now because we have Cheverus, who is boosting overloaded damage and boosting teams where only Pyro and Electro are, it's going to be also great option if you don't have anyone better, or if Cheverus is in the end the best in that category. So some other options, you still, oh, there it is, the level 90. Some other options, well, you have some attack weapons, yes, but nothing too special, only few options. And I still think that the best one should be Alliance Roar. Next on the list we have artifacts. So the best, probably the best set should be Thundering Fury, just because I'm always saying that Electro characters are much better just when you're going purely with Electro damage and not considering the Hyper Bloom, Spread, Quicken and all of the other reactions, Aggravate and all of those. So I do still believe that Thundering Fury is going to be better option, but someone who is going to use her with Dendro, you can go with the Gilded set, so you don't have to stick with only one. You can even switch them if you want. Here it is, some people are using even Gladiator set, which is not that bad as an option for the sword, polearm and claymore users. So yeah, you have even Gladiator as an option. I mean, if you really don't want to farm for the Thundering Fury set, you can just put the Gladiator, because we all know that we have so many pieces, or we just got so many pieces because there's too many world bosses, right? And now when it comes to some kind of stats, well, you will go with the attack, electro and crit. Let's now talk about talents. When we talk about DPS build, her talents are going to be 999, just because you need all of those as extra damage. And Keqing, honestly, Keqing is not providing that much damage, and when you have Raiden to take into the consideration, I mean, you have so many characters now that are Electro and DPSs, even Cyno in Dendro teams now, so Keqing is not ever going to be better than them. You will go with 999 on this and try to get as much damage as you can. Yes, I did see many videos with incredible builds with Keqing, but I do believe that you cannot compare her with some other Electro DPSs, just because she's becoming really outdated, and possibly she did already become outdated long ago. So that's quite unfortunate, because I wanted Genshin to be more focused on every character being a little bit closer one to another. Let's say some Archons or maybe Dragons or something like that should have some kind of advantage, which will make them better than the other characters. But as you can see, let's say Cyno is much better than Keqing. So that's one of the options that I wanted to stay at least a little bit closer when it comes to damage, like 10% maybe increase maximum, nothing too special. But it is what it is, it's happening with absolutely every single character and we cannot change that. And now we have only passive talents to talk about, so after you use her skill, you have 5 seconds of Electro Infusion, which is going to be incredible. As I said, going for the full Electro build should probably give much more damage. But hey, if someone did already try it out and I'm wrong with this one, and in Dendro team she is dealing much more damage, well, let me know in the comments. And second passive, when you cast her burst, you will have 15% increased crit rate and energy recharge. It is lasting 8 seconds, so if you have your skill or you defeat some enemies, it's going to definitely help with casting and getting energy for the second burst. And lastly, Constellations. Well, she is my first C6 character while I was pulling for Navilette C6, so yeah, here it is. So the first constellation is going to let your Keqing have some extra damage when she is using her skill. So the first time you press her skill is going to make a torrent, and after that you will launch yourself into that direction. If you missed enemy, well, you will miss that shot as well, but you will get some extra damage after you are using her skill second time and launching yourself at the enemy. The C2 is going to help just a little bit with the energy problem, because there's going to be 50% chance of getting elemental particle, but it's only every 5 seconds. When you are using normal and charge attack against enemies that are affected by electro, you will have that 50% to get one more elemental particle. C4 is going to help definitely, because you are getting 25% of attack and she is scaling only with the attack. It's lasting 10 seconds, but you need to get some kind of electro-related reaction. And C6 is going to boost by 6% of electro damage bonus for 8 seconds, but it's going to boost normal charge, elemental skill and burst attacks. Not really sure why only 6%. That's a little bit confusing, because it's not that much, but hey, it is what it is. We didn't get more than that, and it says it's independent entities, so I believe it's every for itself. So after you use, let's say, burst, it's just staying for the burst. Maybe I'm making a mistake here and I didn't get it right, so I would love to see if someone is going to correct me in the comments about this. If it is 24%, then it's, let's say, okay as a boost, but if it is staying at 6%, it's not really that good. And we have teams for the last, so the Keqing's team, let's say the full electro, as I said, should be the best option. You will go the same team with the Raiden, okay? So you will go with the Kujosara, Bennett, and you will go with Kazuha. Now, I did see many videos where instead of Kazuha people are using Chevarus, and it did seem that Chevarus is boosting just a little bit more. Or is it just in some specific teams that Chevarus has an option to boost a little bit more?
Team, let's
so
move it out.
Try out Chevarus and try out Kazuha if you have both of them. If you have only one of them, then it's going to stay that way. If you somehow have Shilonen but don't have these two,
Right,
well, you can use Shilonen, because as we know, she is decreasing resistance on absolutely everyone, and that should be the best teams for Keqing. Now, there is some other option that I'm going to mention, and that's going to be with Dendro. So Nahida is going to be definitely the best option, yes. If you want some Hyper Bloom, I mean, Bennett can stay still, you know, but if you want, let's say, Hyper Bloom, you have Furina, she's going to boost, and she is going to apply Hydro. And yes, you can even leave Shilonen as it is now, but you have some other option here. You can go with Kazuha this time. You can swirl both Hydro and Electro at the same time, so you're going to boost both Furina and Keqing. I think those should be the best ones. Also, instead of Kazuha, yes, you can put Sucrose. She's going to be great as option here. And let me see. I mean, Furina is going to heal you if it is really needed that much. But if you really need a healer, then you can go, let's say, with Kokomi. And you have even Cookie as a healer. Xingqiu could help you probably as well. Yao Yao could heal too. So there's many options when it comes to healers for this team. Even maybe Dori. I mean, I just finished build with Dori and she's healing over 10k when I'm casting her burst. Although her burst is expensive, but hey, still, healing over 10k, that's incredible, and you will never build your Keqing with that much HP. She's going to be full HP all the time if you build Dori that good. That's going to be everything on Keqing, unfortunately, just because I don't have build on her and I still didn't get any good Thundering Fury artifacts. I did spend around, let's say, 2000 resin, but I didn't get a single good artifact. I mean, at least artifact that I would use on Keqing. I did get some other roles that are not related to this build and to this character. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and we will have her test on damage afterwards, but who knows when it is going to come. So it is staying like this today, but leave comments about your Keqing and how much damage she is providing, if she is even close to some other Electro DPSs. If she is not, also comment about that one if you experienced it, and who did you change her with if you used her before. And I will see you in the next guide.